you're crazy, don't do it, blah, blah, blah. Red flags everywhere.
Welcome to El Cafecito Travel Talks with Tony Lloyd. Each episode, Tony sits down with travelers, expats, creatives, and community voices from across Latin America and beyond, sharing stories of travel, culture, connection, and the journeys that shape us. So grab a cafecito or a tea and enjoy the conversation.
Thank you for joining me here. We're having some tea. Tell us a little bit about your background. Where are you from? What sort of things were you doing before you decided to travel?
My whole family was born in Detroit. So my mother, my father, my sisters, all of us were born in Detroit. We grew up during the heyday of the car business, in the 50s. So that was a great time. And growing up in Michigan was a good place to grow up, but I don't think I would want to live there anymore because I don't like the winters.
Okay. Well, as you just mentioned, you're growing up in the 50s. So now your current age, you're about approximately?
73.
73. Okay. I'm assuming you're retired, but what were you doing for work before retirement?
Over 20 years ago, I sold my Harley-Davidson dealership in Alabama. My parents had a small car dealership in Michigan, foreign cars, and then they had Datsun. And then we moved to Florida in 1970 and had a Datsun, which became Nissan. And then they sold that in 1985. And a few years later, they helped me get into the Harley-Davidson business.
Okay. So basically your adult life, you've been working with either cars or motorcycles.
Yes.
Okay. This current moment, you are traveling around on your bike, but you reside in Medellín, Colombia. Tell us a little bit about why Medellín, how you got to Medellín, what took you there.
I didn't have a passport until I was 50 because my parents made sure I was always working. And so in 2004, I had my first stamp on a passport in Chile. And that was a motorcycle trip organized and traveled all around South America. My first time crossing borders, and I was just ecstatic. I was having such a great time. And then that started me on other trips. I went to Africa, I rode around Turkey, I went to Europe, I came back to South America several times. I went to Ushuaia twice, and went through Colombia several times. And then I came back to Colombia a few years ago, 2023, with a dating agency. And I had a bunch of credits. And so I wanted to use up the credits. So I flew in from Mexico, where I was riding my motorcycle around. So I flew in from Mexico, and I met and married a 38-year-old Colombiana. That's how I got here.
When you say credits, you mean airline credits, right?
No, it was credits with the matrimonial agency.
Okay, so let's explain to me what that means. Like, so first of all, how did you get involved with the matrimonial agency to start off with?
I don't remember how I found it, but they introduce you to women and they charge you $10 for every email, to read an email or to send an email to women, and I found out that really wasn't the way to go, and I wasted a lot of money. And the women that I did meet, nothing happened with them. So I decided I might as well take up on this credit and come to Colombia and see what happens.
Okay, so you contact the agency, and the agency sets it up where you only pay by the hour, where you are writing these emails? I don't understand that part.
They gave me a 10% credit on all the money that I spent. So I spent over $50,000 with them over a period of years. And so I had amassed this huge credit of about $5,000 some odd dollars, enough to pay for the whole experience in Colombia. So I was going to stop using the agency, so I figured I'd better use the credits.
Okay, I'm still a little bit lost here. So, but when you initially sign up, do you pay a fee, or how does that work? When you initially sign up, you pay a fee.
No, you only pay for the emails that you send or receive.
Okay, and each email costs
$10.
$10. So to build up over $50,000,
Yeah,
you were sending out a lot of emails.
over a long period of time.
Okay. And then they decided to give you a discount on that. Okay, so you pay for the emails that you're sending.
Mm-hmm.
And then what was the second part like? How does that work? You fly to Colombia? Where
Yeah.
Colombia did you fly to?
Fly into Medellín.
Okay.
They have them all around the world.
Mm-hmm.
Philippines or Ukraine, for example, different
Mm-hmm.
places. And you choose where you want to go, and you pay for your own airfare, of course, but
Mm-hmm.
the hotel and everything else is paid for, and all the introductions.
Okay, so based on your credit, so theoretically you paid for it, you prepaid it before
Yes.
before all
Yes.
that. Okay.
Right.
Okay, they say, okay, come on, fly into Colombia. You arrive in Colombia, in Medellin. What happens next?
They have two socials, which is like speed dating.
Mm-hmm.
There's 100 women each night.
Okay.
There's 20 men, and you briefly go around the table and say a few things about yourself. They say a few things about themselves, and then I take notes on whom I might consider. And I think the women also do the same.
Mm-hmm.
And if you come together, if you match, then you can go on a date.
Okay. And that date, is that same night, or is that another time?
Could be another time, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
How was the experience for you? How many matches did you get in that situation?
I was the most popular person there. It was unbelievable.
Look at you. Okay.
It was incredible. I'm really good socially. I have a lot of fun. I enjoy being with people. And I don't know, I'm a good bullshitter or whatever. But anyway, I'm having fun. And I'm hoping everyone else is having fun. Everyone seemed to like it. I had more women want to go out with me than anybody else there. I could meet people for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for like a week.
Okay. After going on several dates, you then chose someone, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Explain to us a little bit about that.
Well, I think it was more like she chose me.
Okay.
She zeroed in on me pretty much. I met some really nice ladies. I believe I just let myself go with this woman.
Okay. What were the average ages like of the women that were there?
38.
38. And the average age of the men?
Somewhat older, yes.
Okay.
I don't know, like average, but I was one of the older.
So explain to us a little bit about the person you matched with.
Well, you mean the woman I ended up marrying?
Okay, you jumped ahead. Okay, because first you matched and then you decided to get married. So explain to us about...
Yeah, that happened all too quickly. She zeroed in on me pretty much, and I fell for it. And her idea was, if we get married right away, I want to get visas to the United States.
Okay.
And so that was the logic for why we should get married right away, which was totally ridiculous. Everyone warned me against it. Everybody I even mentioned it to a little bit said, you're crazy, don't do it, blah, blah, blah. Red flags everywhere. But I came back a few months later. We made arrangements to live together, and we got married 9 months later.
Okay. And how long has this been now?
That was in right before Christmas in 2023.
2023. Okay, so are you still currently married?
Oh no, we divorced not quite a year later, November 11th.
Okay, so the marriage only lasted about a little bit under a year.
Right.
Okay, and why? What happened? Give us a little bit about the starting point. How was everything at the start?
Oh, it was lovely. I'm learning Colombian culture. I just arrived from America. I was totally new to everything. What I didn't know, or what I soon found out, was that my wife had a boyfriend. And he would help her do things when I wasn't around. So like when I flew back to the United States for a month or two, he's living in my apartment. While she's heading home from the airport, he's already making breakfast in my apartment. And this is what, we had an Airbnb guest. And 2 weeks later, we were talking on WhatsApp, and he told me, he said, oh, by the way, you know, when you went to the airport, there was a guy live in your house and making breakfast the same morning that you left. And I go, really? And he said, well, I thought he was in the other bedroom, but he was in your bedroom with your wife.
Okay. And when you approached her about it?
Oh, yeah, she, I don't remember what exactly happened, but it wasn't a happy situation. Mm-hmm. And I tolerated it. I don't know why, but I thought that, well, if I just married her and now a month or two later I'm going to divorce her, that's embarrassing. So I did like the attention that she gave me, and she was a really good super pasajero on the back of my motorcycle, so I thought that was really good. And she gave me such wonderful attention. I just rolled with it for a while, but I knew it wasn't going to last. And then...
So you were accepting of the idea that she had the boyfriend, and...
I didn't like it.
Okay.
And I said so, but what was I going to do? You know, we were living in an apartment. We had all these arrangements made. We were married. I just rolled with it for a time, knowing that it wasn't going to last.
Okay. And tell me he wasn't living in the apartment with you.
No.
Okay.
But he did move closer, and that was suspicious.
Okay. And did she have kids?
She had a 12-year-old son who was also keeping all of these secrets.
And this 12-year-old son, was it the son of the boyfriend, or was that...
No.
Okay.
No, that was someone else.
That was someone else.
Yeah.
And what was her family structure like? Mother, sisters, brothers? Did you meet any of them?
I'm currently very close to my in-laws, or I should say my ex-in-laws, her sister and brother-in-law, and that family. They have 2 sons, and we're best of friends. My ex-wife doesn't speak to them because she feels that they betrayed her, because the second time the husband was living in my apartment, they would send me photos of his car in my parking space in the garage, and they reported to me when I would send money, Western Union, to my wife. They were spotted, all 3 of them were seen going to the Western Union to pick up money that I was sending.
So her, the boyfriend, and the son?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Then at some point, the boyfriend moved into an apartment just a few hundred meters away.
And at what point did you say enough?
It was 2 weeks after the second incident that the boyfriend lived in my apartment with my wife. And it was 2 weeks after that, and that was the end of it. I had some words with her, and she left on a Sunday. She took a bunch of her things and her son and moved in with the boyfriend a few hundred meters away.
And then I assume you went then and filed the divorce papers.
Yes.
Okay, so at this current moment, you're divorced, but as you said, you still continue to speak with the in-laws. Yeah. If somebody is thinking about this, maybe another gentleman, retiree, what would you say to them? What now that you've gone through this experience, is it something that you think they should do? Or if so, what sort of precautions should they take?
Slow down and look closely at the woman and her living situation and the people around her, and show up at her house unexpected.
Okay.
See what's going on. And get to know them better. Don't do what I did, you know. I acted far too quickly and was very stupid.
Okay. Are you currently still using one of these agencies?
No. There are so many women in Colombia, and there's lots of very nice ladies. And if you stay with a woman that's somewhere close to your age, it's totally not like that.
Okay.
You know, they're just regular women.
Okay. Wouldn't you say the same thing is true in other parts of the world? Or
I would say so.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I would think so. I think, you know, if you're 73 years old and you're living with a 21-year-old, you know, something's wrong with that.
Okay. And why not the U.S.? Why not? Aren't there women around that same category of your age group in the U.S. that you could join up with? I thought there were more women than men in the world.
Maybe so, but in the U.S. it's not. It's just I don't see it.
You don't see it. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That's each one has their way of seeing things. So at this current moment, you are taking a small trip. So your plan is to return back to Medellín, continue dating, return back to Medellín, or
I have some ladies that I see, and they are in their 50s.
Okay.
And they're wonderful.
Is there a plan for marriage again?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No
more marriage.
No.
Okay. and they're fine with you seeing several others at the same time.
I might not tell them about the other ones, but
okay.
Yeah.
Any last words of what you would like to recommend? Let's see.
I would be very careful because I have 6 acquaintances that I heard stories from directly, I mean in person, that they were scopolamine.
Scopolamina, yeah.
The devil's trumpet.
Okay.
And this is a big problem.
Yeah. So, what is your thought on that? What is your thought on how should men protect themselves from this, or should they not even be going to Colombia in the first place? What is your to Medellín?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, the climate is great. It's economic. It's a great place to ride motorcycles. There's a lot of opportunities with people, you know, closer to your own age. You don't need to go too far with the young women because I think you're inviting trouble.
Okay.
I just feel like I've learned, and so now in all these Latin American cultures, I have a pretty good feel for what's going on, and it's basically economic, a difference in economics.
Mm-hmm.
You know, add to that some culture, and you've got some issues. You know, you got Westerners coming here that have a little extra money, and they like to meet a nice woman, and the women want something from the men, and they don't necessarily work well together. Pay attention to all the advice that you see.
Okay. Including this podcast.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for sharing your story.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for taking the time, and cheers as we're finishing up our tea.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of El Cafecito Travel Talks with Tony Lloyd. If you'd like to learn more about today's guest, check the podcast notes for links and information related to this episode. And if you have questions, stories, or topics you'd love us to explore in future episodes, feel free to reach out. Tony also helps independent travelers plan meaningful journeys throughout Central and South America, including cultural and community-based experiences. And if you'd like to support the podcast and help keep these conversations going, you'll find a contribution link in the podcast notes. Until next time, thank you for sharing a cafecito or tea with us, and safe travels wherever your journey may take you.